I'm so OCD. I love cleaning. How many times have we heard this phrase thinking it's just a harmless way to express how organized and tidy we are? Like most people, I also thought that being OCD just meant that you were a perfectionist. But what if I told you that according to the World Health Organization, that OCD is the seventh most debilitating illness in the world? Not just in mental illnesses, but in all overall illnesses. Obsessive compulsive disorder has little to do with cleaning and organizing and has everything to do with constant paranoia, sleep deprivation, and social isolation. My name is Maisha, and for nearly 2 decades, I lived with undiagnosed OCD. But if you walked into my room, you would think I was the furthest thing from OCD. My bed was never made, my clothes were on the floor, and the dishes from last night were still on my desk. Today, I will address the common stereotypes about this disorder, how these misconceptions impact diagnosis for people like myself, and the most effective treatment for long-term recovery. Obsessive compulsive disorder has almost nothing to do with cleaning and organizing. OCD involves persistent and intrusive thoughts, also known as obsessions, and repetitive behaviors known as compulsions. These compulsions go beyond perfectionism, cleanliness, or organization. For instance, someone might anxiously check their emails every few seconds, holding the irrational belief that they accidentally sent their boss the middle finger emoji. This fear then turns into an obsession, which leads to a compulsion that can keep the person suffering awake for hours and may even lead them to quit their job out of fear that they did something unforgivable. Believing that OCD is only about perfectionism can lead to ineffective treatment and exacerbation of symptoms. On average, it takes around 16 years for someone to get a proper diagnosis after their first symptoms. For me personally, it took around 20. Many sufferers may never get the help they need if their symptoms are not recognized for what they are. These stereotypes and stigmas can also impact a doctor's perception of their patients, as they tend to look for signs of physical compulsions, such as turning off the stove or compulsive counting. However, all hope is not lost. With effective treatment, OCD sufferers like myself can regain control over their fears and drastically improve their quality of life. The most effective treatment for this disorder does not come in the form of a pill or after sitting in the safe space of a therapist's office. The most effective treatment for OCD is also the most counterintuitive one: facing your fears. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. To effectively use this treatment, also known as exposure therapy, the person suffering must sit with the uncertainty of not knowing whether their fears are true or false. For example, someone with health OCD might believe that the only way for them to stop spreading a deadly disease to their family is by taking 7 showers a day. In reality, this person most likely does not have a deadly disease, but their brain bullies them into believing they do. To overcome this obsessive cycle, the sufferer can work to reduce the number of showers they take per day. They can first start by taking 6 instead of 7, then 5 instead of 6, and so on and so forth. By slowly breaking this cycle through exposure to their fears, they train their brain to realize their compulsions will never prevent their fears in the first place. Logic does not work with OCD. Starving your compulsions does. To conclude, we now know that OCD is heavily misunderstood by the general public. Those who are suffering, and sometimes even doctors themselves, these harmful generalizations often lead to misdiagnosis and improper treatment. But with mental health education, we can help more people receive the treatment and the life they deserve. So the next time you watch a TV show like Friends and you see a character like Monica displaying clear signs of OCD, which are brushed off as a joke, or when your friend tells you that they're a little OCD, I encourage you to consider how this narrative might hurt the countless undiagnosed sufferers in the world today. Thank you.